Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video, I am bringing you my March update on my team project pan, and March means we are doing our quarterly refresh. So I have a crap ton of products in my basket in front of me here. It is like overflowing. I feel like I have more products in here than I do sometimes in my empties videos, which is saying a lot. So we are doing a complete refresh on these products bar I think one item. So if you do want to see my update and my refresh, then stay tuned. But before we get into the video, if you are new around here, I hope you consider subscribing down below if you are new to my channel and if you want to keep up to date on all of my project pans that I'm doing this year. And with that all being said, let's jump on into the video. So Team Project Pan was started by Kat and Hayley from Beauty News. This is a full face rolling project pan. Everyone kind of does theirs differently. This year I've decided to do kind of like 4 mini projects within this project. So at the end of each quarter, I am going to do like a full-on complete refresh. This month we do have, I think, I kind of lost count, maybe like 5 empties, 4 empties, I think, plus my samples that I was working on. Yeah, let's start at the top of the list. There are so many products in this basket. I 100% need to follow the spreadsheet today, otherwise something will be forgotten. And if I can even find the products in the basket, that's the other thing. At the top of the list we have primers, and this past month I was working on the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer, and I stupidly forgot to weigh this one last time. God, I'm an idiot. It's currently weighing 27.51 grams and I am going to rotate this one out. I have not finished this one yet, but this one will come back at some point later on in the year when I am needing a new primer to rotate in. I only had it in for a month, so I'm not surprised that I didn't get it done, because actually this like little bottle tube is quite full. It's got 10 grams in it, but you only need like a fairly small amount of that one to make it go a long way. Next category was my foundation, and my foundation that I was working on was my NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. I have had this one in since the start of the year. This past month I used 7.16 grams, and I think I'm sitting like down in between the A now. So I've probably used well over half of this one, and when I do get the chance to rotate this one back in, or when I come back around to it, I don't think it will take too much effort to get it finished. Probably maybe like another maybe 1.5 months, and I think I'll totally have this one finished. Then we move on to concealer, and I was working on my Kosas, what is this called? The Revealer Concealer. And if you can see through the bottle there are lots of windows, and I've totally like dropped the level of this one quite considerably. I used a whole gram of this one this past month. It's sitting at 27.77 grams. So I think I've used about half of this one. And again, I think if I could work on this one for maybe 1 to 1.5 months, I think it'll be completely finished. I do really like this concealer, so I would not be mad about it like coming back in at some point. My first empty of the month was from my powders. I was working on the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Powder. This one is not the empty because it still has a crap ton of product in it. This still has 86.68 grams. I only used 1/4 gram of this one this past month. I only use this one to set under my eyes. I just find, for me personally, it does have a little bit too much of a pink like tone to it, and I also find it's a little bit illuminating for my liking, just because I have oily skin all over my face. So I know some of you were asking and commenting why I only use this under my eyes, and that's the main reason. Just because I have oily skin, it is quite a glowy powder, and just from like the tone of it, I just don't really like how it looks all over my face. But I do like the look of it under my eyes, and it does add like a little bit of like that glow under my eyes. And then the empty is my Nakia Joy Cosmetics Velvet Finish Powder. This one was very much touch and go over the past couple of months as to whether I would finish it up or not, but I did finally manage to get it done. Actually, I finished it quite early on in March. So for most of March, I was already working on the powder that's going to come in to replace this one. I am very happy that I have this one finished, and I would definitely buy this again in the future. Given that I have like 3, I think, powders in my collection at the moment, it won't be something that I will buy immediately, but I definitely will consider repurchasing this one in the not too distant future. I just would maybe like to get maybe one more powder out of my collection before I repurchase this one, but it's a fantastic powder for oily skin, and I really like the effect on the skin. Next, we move on to yet another empty, and I am so incredibly proud of myself for this empty because I don't remember the last time that I finished up one of these products, and it is my KVD Shake Primer. So this is an eyeshadow primer product. I did manage to get this one completely finished. Again, this was one that was a bit touch and go. I thought that I might still have a little bit left in the bottle by the time that this update rolled around, but I did manage to get it finished today. Today was the last application using this product, and I am so stoked with myself that I got this one done. It lasted me a very long time. It was a very decent amount of time. I actually really like this eyeshadow primer, so I would definitely consider picking this one up again. Again, this is another category that I think I have probably one too many for my liking in that category, so I would like to get another one out before I pick up another one of these. Moving on to setting sprays, this is one that I did not get done, but I did use 15 grams of this one, 15.5 grams of this one this past month. It is sitting at like just over halfway. MAC Fix Pluses usually don't take me all that long to get through, so I have definitely powered through this one this past month, and I think if I was able to dedicate maybe another 2 months, 2.5 months on this one, it would definitely be finished. So this one will again come back at some point. My Benefit Brow Zing, and I 100% knew that I would not have this one finished by this update, but I did manage to hit pan on both sides in this product, which I think is an achievement in itself. So you can see both pans there. This past month I used 0.11 gram of this one, so brow products are a very, very slow and steady product, but I'm happy to see some use and some progress on this one. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's not terrible. Just the thought of trying to completely finish this one up and pan this one terrifies me. So you'll definitely see it again later in the year, but just the thought of spending that much time on another single brow product, it's daunting. It's a daunting thought. Then we have my M Cosmetics Brow Cream, which is my brow setting product that I've been using. This one, again, I used 0.14 of a gram of this one, and I think this one's definitely getting towards the end of its life. Every time I bring it out, you know, it's a little bit drier every time, and I do now have to like dip in a few times to do both brows. So it's definitely getting towards the end of its life. I do think that it probably maybe has another month in it, so I am going to keep it in my collection. For lip products, now I shamefully left one of my lip products at work, so we won't be updating on that, but it was my Fenty lip gloss, and I still probably have maybe a quarter of it left, so I didn't get that one done. As well as this one, this is my Ultraviolet Sheen Screen Lip Balm in Shimmer. This is just like the clear lip balm that I have, and I'm so annoyed at myself that I couldn't get this one done. I used 2.94 grams of this one this past month, and as you can see, there's only this little bit down the bottom here. So I am a little bit annoyed at myself that I couldn't get this one done, but I definitely think that I'll have this one out of the collection by the end of the year. I'm so close to having one of these out of my collection. My goal was to use at least 2 of these this year. The fail of quarter one, I feel like there's at least one product every quarter that will probably be a fail product. It was my Too Faced Melted Matte Liquified Lipstick. I think I only used this like maybe once or twice through the whole quarter, and no update on weight on this one because I haven't used it over the past month. Then we have another empty, and it is my Benefit Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Boss. I did drag the stopper out of this one earlier this month, and I have managed to completely finish it up. As you can see there, I like wiped it, and there's a little bit down in the bottom, but there's definitely not enough to do like a whole lip application, and this makes my first ever liquid lipstick empty, which is amazing. I'm so proud of myself. It's only a mini, but I still feel like it is a win and I'm gonna take it. I'm flabbergasted that I finally managed to use up a liquid lipstick. That is all of my lip products. So far this year, I've only managed to use up 2 lip products. So 1 full-size lipstick and 1 mini liquid lipstick. Moving into skincare category, I was only working on 2 skincare products, and the first one was my Avene Hydrating Mask. It says that I use 0.02 of a gram of this one, but I think that's just my scales playing up because I don't remember using this one at all this past month. So again, this is another probably fail product. I've used it a little bit throughout the first quarter, but not as much as I would have liked. I think if I really set my mind to it, I really could have got this one finished. But that didn't happen, so we are rotating this one out. This one will definitely come back at some point because I do really want to get this one finished this year. And the next skincare product is also not quite empty. So it was my Mary Kay Timewise Moisture Renew Softener. Now this product I was decanting into this little Drunk Elephant sprayer because it's like a micro mister. So I was decanting it into there. I basically have this whole bottle finished. There is a little bit left in the bottom there that I need to use up, but this one here is completely full. Over the past month, I used 34.99 grams of this one, but I do still have a little bit left. So I'm not counting it as an empty because I still have this bottle to get through. And again, I think we're gonna see this one again because I wanna get it done. I wanna get it done. I feel like I'm so close to having it finished. Nail polish products, again, I didn't get any nail polishes used up since last month, but I did make some progress on them, obviously. Starting off with my Essie top coat, I used 1.17 grams of this one. I think I'm starting to get it down to around the halfway point on that one. We have Essie base coat, I used 0.57 grams of this one, so about half a gram, and it's getting to the point where I have to like tip it on the side to be able to use it. It's getting quite thick and gluggy, and it's almost at the point where the brush doesn't touch the product. So I think if I rotated this back in for probably maybe a quarter, I can definitely have it finished. Maybe a quarter and a half, just to be generous. I could probably have that one finished. My nail polish color, which I rotated in last month just to get a little bit of a head start on this product, I used 0.77 grams of this one. I probably could have really given it a red hot go and used this one a little bit more this past month, but I have kind of only been using this on my toes. So I didn't make as much progress as I would have liked, but I think it's just, you know, setting a good groundwork ready for the rest of the year. Hair care products, we do have our first hair care empty for the year, which is very exciting. You know, I always like to use like 4 or 5 hair care products in a year, so we are on track. The first product to update you on is my Bumble BB Thickening Dry Spun Finish Spray. This one is so incredibly close to being finished, but I just didn't quite get it done. I only used 3.3 grams of this one this month, and when I was using it last night on my hair, it was getting like, you know, airy. So I am very close to having this one done, and I think if I just maybe used it once or twice more in my hair, I think it'll be finished. The first empty for the hair care category comes from the Herbal Essence Tussling Mousse. I managed to get this one finished yesterday. So right at the 11th hour, this one is empty. There's nothing left in here. I am very happy to have this one out of my collection and just to, you know, see my hair care numbers dwindle again by 1. It's a very happy occasion. Then we have my Pure Oil of Marrakesh. This is just like a Moroccan hair oil. I used almost a gram of this one, so 0.93 of a gram of this one, and it is going to be coming out. And as I said, I really didn't think that I would have this one done at all this year, but I did just want to start trying to focus on it and get some more use out of it. And then we have my Lush Dry Shampoo. I didn't use this one this month. As you guys know, I told you guys a couple of months ago, I actually like decant this into like a little ramekin and then use a powder brush in that ramekin. So I only ever really see progress on this bottle when I've emptied the ramekin, and it hasn't come around to needing to be refilled yet. So that's why there's no progress on this one, but it is sitting at 55 grams. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're over halfway on the weight wise. We have our samples that we used up this month. I am missing one. I'm not quite sure where the packet's gone, but I did use up that sheet mask that I rotated in last month. I also used up the entirety of this card. So in this one, the Marc Jacobs face primer, the coconut face primer, there was the Shameless foundation in tan, in medium, and in light, and I managed to get all 4 of those ones used. Also used up the Project Lip Mask, 2 of the Laneige Water Bank Moisture Creams, and then there was also 2 of these Dermalogica Breakout Clearing Booster. I really didn't like these. I hated the smell of them. It reminded me of like the smell of like shoe polish. It was not a pleasant smell, but I did manage to get all of my samples used up that I rotated in last month. That completes my update on the products that I was working on in March. Now let's go back up to the top of our spreadsheet, and I'm going to show you all the products that we're going to be working on for quarter 2. Back up to the primer category. For primer, I am going to bring in my Hourglass Veil Primer. This is one of the deluxe sample sizes, and it is a full size. I haven't used this one yet. For foundations, I'm going to start working on my Oma Say What foundation. Now I have this in the color White Pearl, which is T2N. I think I've only used this maybe like once or twice since I got it at Christmas time. So it'll be nice to give this one a good try, test it out, and see what I think of it. And I am going to pair that with my Oma Beauty Stay Woke Concealer. Again, I have this in the color T2 White Pearl, and I just think it made sense for me to bring in the concealer if I'm going to be working on the foundation. I do have the Kosas, which is coming out, and I also have another concealer in my collection, but I just thought that, you know, it made sense to me, and it was a smart business decision to bring both of these in and pair them together. For powders, I am going to bring in the Pat McGrath Sublime Perfecting Blurring Under Eye Powder. I have this in the color Light, so I'm going to bring this in to set my under eyes. And then for my facial powder, I'm going to bring in my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish. This is now my oldest face powder that I have in my collection since finishing up the Nakia Joy powder. This is now the oldest one in my collection, so it just made sense to me to grab this one next. So this is a pressed powder as opposed to the Nakia Joy, which is a loose powder. I typically find pressed powders for me a lot easier to pan, so I think that I will probably hit pan on this one by the next update. For eyeshadow primer, I am a little bit iffy about this one, but we'll see how we go. I'm going to bring in the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base, and I have this in the color Fair. It is like a cream eyeshadow primer. I have used this previously for cut creases, and I liked it for that purpose. I haven't really tested it out as an all-over eyeshadow primer, so I'm a little bit nervous about that, but this is all I have basically in the eyeshadow primer category other than my glitter glue, but I don't really like using that as an all-over eyeshadow primer. Setting sprays, I'm really nervous about bringing this one in because I really like this product and I don't want to see it gone out of my collection. But also my logical brain thinks that that's ridiculous, so I'm gonna bring it in. So that's my Hourglass Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray. I love this setting spray. It is such a good setting spray. Makes your makeup and skin look so beautiful and luminous, but it's an expensive setting spray, so I'm really nervous to bring it in. I probably will still only use this for special occasions and not on a daily basis, just because it's so expensive. I don't want to waste it. For brow products, I'm bringing in a brow pencil to kind of give myself a little bit of a leg up and cheat a little bit. So I'm going to bring in my M Cosmetics brow pencil. This is in brunette. There's only quite a small amount of this one left, and this is the only brow pencil that I have in my collection at the moment. So I thought I'd bring it in just to get it done because I'm kind of avoiding using it up because I really like it. But I thought I would just give myself a little bit of a boost when it comes to brow products because I feel like brow products are just dominating me at the moment. As well as this one for brow setting. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow. I have had this one sitting like in my makeup kit, but it's kind of getting older on, so I thought that I would grab it out, try and use it up and not waste it before it dries out or like goes off. So I will use this one on myself. Lip products, I have a lot of lip products coming in and you're probably not surprised by that. So for lip balm, I am going to rotate in another one of the ultraviolet lip balms. This one is in the color Nude and this one is basically completely full. Then I have a lipstick. I have a bullet lipstick coming in. This is my Lime Crime Choker lipstick. I actually have 2 of these in my collection, so I really want to get this one out so I don't have like a double up of the same lipstick. I feel like it was a really stupid move on my part, but I want to get this one used up so I'm not wasting a lipstick because this one is starting to, again, get on in age. And I mean, it still smells the same. It's probably changing a little bit in formula, but I do really love this color. I'm actually wearing this on my lips today over the top of a lip liner under a lip gloss. I really like the color and the formula, so I really want to like appreciate it and use it while it's still good. I have another one of my Fenty lip glosses coming in. This time it's in the color Confetti, which is like this clear gloss, but it's got a lot of like shimmer glitter in it. So I think that one will pair nicely with most of the lip products that I use. Lastly, for a liquid lipstick, I'm bringing in the Tarte Lip Paint in the color Rosé. I'm a bit unsure about this formula. I think I might not enjoy it, but given that it's a mini, I thought I'd give it a try and see how it goes, test out the formula, and then if I don't like it, it's not really a big loss. If it's okay, then it's only a small amount to try and pan. In the skincare category, I did have a little bit of difficulty trying to decide what to bring in this time, but you guys know I really want to clear out my face mask, so that was easy. It was just like if there was anything else that I wanted to try and work on as well. I'm going to bring in this detoxifying clay mask. This is the doTERRA clarifying mud mask. This was a gift from a friend. It didn't really work for her. I've got about, I think, like half of it left if you kind of look at it there. So I don't think it'll be too much work for me to get this one done. And given that it's a mud mask, I do prefer mud mask for my oily skin. I think maybe like 2 months of usage on this one and I might have it done. And I'm also going to bring in the Sanded Sky Enzyme Powder Polish. I've had this in my shower for probably about a year now and I feel like I hardly ever reach for it. So I thought maybe including it in the project as a focus product, it might just like trigger my memory and remind me to continue to use it and use it a little bit more. For nail polishes, I am completely refreshing when it comes to nail polishes. I have these 3 products here. So I am going to bring in the Holo Taco Peely Base Coat and the Holo Taco Glossy Top Coat. These are basically brand new. I did get these for Christmas. So they are chock-a-block. So I don't think I'm gonna see them finished by any means this year. And for color, I am going to bring in another one of my Essie minis. This is the color Bangle Jangle and it is like this lavendery color. And I thought just given that we are kind of pre-winter at the moment that I can kind of still use this one, and I thought it was a good time to grab for this one as opposed to some of the other minis that I have in my collection that are more on the bright spectrum. I think I've only got 3 minis left in my collection from this Essie range, so I am slowly getting through my nail polishes. It's taking me a while, but I am slowly getting there. Perfume, as you guys see, my perfume collection it's minimalistic, I feel, compared to past Bettina. So I am going to grab out my Marc Jacobs Daisy Dream. I do feel like after the Flora Botanica, this might be a nice break because this one is on the lighter side. It is still floral, but it's not so heavy and intense floral. So I think that I will really enjoy this one. I did purchase this one on my honeymoon, so I think it will also have like very happy vibes with it when I use it. Just because I've had it like my honeymoon was 7 years ago, so I've had this bottle for 7 years. It doesn't look like it's changing color at all, and it still smells the same. So I've obviously had it in a good position, but just because it's so old, I would like to just give it a little bit more love because she's been sitting there being neglected. And for hair care products, I'm rotating 3 products in and I'm rotating 1 over from Q1. So the one coming over from Q1, obviously my Lush Dry Shampoo, because you guys know I am determined to get this one finished this year. So I do feel like if I really want to get this one done this year, I need to give myself the best possible chance to do that by using it throughout the whole year. For the products that I'm bringing in, the first one is the Tresemme Youth Booster. I'm not entirely sure what this product is, but I'll figure it out. I think it's kind of like a product that you spray on your scalp, but I'm not quite sure whether it's one that you spray on when it's wet or when it's dry. But it's kind of like a bit of a texturizing powder type product for your scalp, but it's in like a spray form. So if you guys have ever used those like powders on your scalp and then you like zhuzh them up, or like dry shampoo, I guess, I think this is kind of like that, but in a wet spray type product. I'm gonna figure it out. As you can tell, I have no freaking idea. Then we have the Pureology Color Fanatic. Again, this is another product. I have no freaking idea what it is, so I'm going to have to do some research, but from my brief looking at this ages ago, I just have a feeling that it's kind of like a heat protectant, or that's probably how I'm going to use it. So I'm going to do some more investigating, but I'm going to rotate this one in. And then the last hair care product is this little tiny hair oil. So this is the Argania Hair Oil. This is the light argan oil, so I'm hoping that maybe I can use this one a little bit more than the other one that I had, because this one is like full on legit heavy blown, whereas this says it's a lighter version. So I'm hoping that maybe I can use this one a little bit more than that other one. And then last but not least, this box right here. Now I've decided that I'm going to structure the way that I rotate samples into this project a little bit differently. So I've decided that at the start of every quarter, I'm going to pick out around 25, depending on how I'm going with my sample count. I'm going to rotate in around 25 and I'm going to separate them out into this box. And then throughout the 3 months, I can just grab out of this box whatever sample I feel like. And then I will just update you guys at the end of each month how many samples I've used out of this box and what sample it is that I've used up. So far in here, I've separated out, I've got like skincare products, I've got foundation complexion products. There's also a few hair care bits and pieces in here, but I did go through my collection of samples and I grabbed out, I think I've got 25 samples in here, but I do want to use, I've set myself the goal, I want to use at least 100 samples this year in this project alone. So I am basing that basically off like 25 per quarter. And I think last quarter I was 1 behind that. So I need to make that up somewhere. And then these samples like this, the cards, I'm counting this as 4 individual samples. But I think if I am able to use 100 plus samples in this year, I will significantly reduce my sample collection, which is what I really want to do, because I have a box of samples that I just barely ever touch, and it kind of drives me crazy every time I look at it. So I'm hoping that this encourages me to work on them and grab them out and use them throughout the months. There you have it. This is a very long video. That's my update on Q1, my finale, I guess you could say, for Q1, and my intro for Q2. Let me know down in the comments box how you are going on your project pan, whether you're trying to project pan any specific categories in your collection and how you're going. While you're down there, if you did enjoy this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you are new around here and you want to keep up to date on this project pan and all my other project pans that I'm doing this year, I hope you'll consider subscribing down below. That's it for this video, beautiful. I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe, healthy, and looking after yourself. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.